More talking about some more of that NFL draft that had took place, right? Because I know a couple of you might have forgotten uh, the top 20 in the NFL. I'll run some down for you. What happened? Number one, if you forgot, was Bryce Young. Bryce Young was taken by none other than Carolina Panthers. He's going to be the new face of their team. He's going to be doing things down there in Carolina. So they don't have that problem anymore of the slouching quarterback. They have a developing quarterback and a guy like Bryce Young that comes from a really great program under Nick Saban in Alabama. And you know what Nick Saban does? He produces league-ready players because it's like playing for the NFL when you're playing for teams like Alabama and Georgia. So Bryce Young's number one. C.J. Stroud was number two. He went to Houston Texans along with his boy at number 3, Will Anderson Jr. Really good combination. Will Anderson Jr. is a plus for the Houston Texans on defense. He's going to crunch and smash and get it done. Another Alabama product. And C.J. Stroud is doing his thing. C.J. Stroud from Ohio. These two are from separate teams, but they're going to be together as one because they have had time to practice right now, I'm sure. And you know, the mandatory workouts, the scrimmages that they have. A plus on defense, a plus on the offense. And the Indianapolis Colts, they're looking to change the face of their organization, starting off with Anthony Richardson, coming out of Florida, representing the Florida Gators. Then you have number 5, Devon Witherspoon to the Seattle Seahawks, Paris Johnson Jr., Tyree Wilson, who went to the Las Vegas Raiders, Bijan Robinson, who's going to be a big deal. He's went to Atlanta, so he's going to be in that mix in Atlanta, along with guys that's going to put in work on the squad. You know who I'm talking about over there. To my Mr. Pitts. Mr. Pitts over there in Atlanta is going to appreciate the combination of him and Bijan Robinson, which should give Atlanta a good ground game. The Atlanta Falcons, I'm not saying that they're going to be a top-notch team, but they're going to be better than they was last year with Bijan Robinson on the ground. So, Jalen Carter, straight out of Georgia. This man is going to get busy. You know what he do. He's another Georgia product. Darnell Wright, number 10. Peter Skoronsky out of Northwestern. He's going to the Tennessee Titans. Jahmyr Gibbs from out of Alabama. Another good ground game addition to what the Detroit Lions are going to have going for themselves this season. 23-24 season in the NFL. Lucas Van Ness on the Green Bay Packers. Roderick Jones. Will McDonald the 4th. Emmanuel Forbes. Will McDonald the 4th going to the Jets. Emmanuel Forbes going to the Washington Commanders. Christian Gonzalez going to the Patriots. Jack Campbell, Detroit Lions. And number 19 and 20, you have Kalijah Cansey out of Pittsburgh going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Jason Smith, the Jigba, going to the Seattle Seahawks. He's going to be someone out there that is going to be pretty useful as you have guys on the Seattle Seahawks that have become better once Pete Carroll has brought them into the program and started to develop these guys and exploit their talents. So you're going to look for Smith and the Jigma to be better this year in his first year in the NFL. Depending on if you get a lot of snaps, a lot of targets, that would be great. Now I want to just shout out real quick The New York Giants, our picks for the New York area, the New York Giants taking Deonte Banks on defense. We needed a good cornerback there to help improve what we already had in our secondary, and that's going to really bring us to being a better contending team. We were taken out this year in not the best fashion. We was actually blown out. Philadelphia exploited us, and that was not a good feeling at all. We had time to get prepared for these guys, but the team did not stand up to what we needed it to. However, it was an improvement from previous years, so we took what we got this year from our current team led by Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, who we are glad to have still a part of the team, and I hope the Giants put a little bit more respect on his name and get the deal done to make sure that this man stays here for a long time. This is beautiful. The New York Giants this year, our beloved team, our hometown favorite. We were actually able to pick up a couple of good pieces that's going to help us move in the right direction. Another one, I'm just going to move on to highlight the fact that we were able to pick up Jalin Hyatt. Jalin Hyatt was one of those picks that was still available in later rounds because he was overlooked. His skill set, but the guy is pretty good. He comes from a Division I program in Tennessee. He was under Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker was his quarterback, and he was one of his top targets. Jalin Hyatt, the guy gets busy, and that's a great addition because the Giants, we normally do get good wide receivers when we go into this draft or go into the drafts with good scouting reports, good projections, and we know what these guys can potentially do. However, when they actually do it, it helps us to win. And so that's what we're hoping that Jalin Hyatt helps us to be able to get over that cross bridge also. Jalin Hyatt.
Head of my gun, I'm flowing cleverness, I let the left from my gun. Big brother too fast, all they catch up, no breath from my lung. One move like you first, you come, second to none. I'm losing a man that made me tough love, not enough love to share the good gang of babies and the gang of ladies. That's called gang, I know none. And my hood, the only black flag hanging, they all gone like the showguns. Love they show none, every man for themselves. Rough blood, it's a long struggle. But right now, I'm game for myself. Fuck up the big homies and gone, I reprimand myself. I can say they left me for dead, but I was spending myself. Became antisocial, too talented, jealous. You couldn't even stand stop close to you. And man, my biggest fan, my whole shit, he was the most of you. Folks should have been blue or cool. The only folk you knew, but I'm different from the folks you knew. But they doing what they supposed to do. They all got first class money. Now for this time, I can only coach a few. Find a way to be rich in spirit, but I'm as broke as you. How can never judge a man? Push a shove a man, budget man. Let's make a move. What's your budget plan? Just enough to bubble grants. Call of Duty, keep a supplement. The sun died with the mother hand. The sun enough to downside the mother man. These shit is ain't vices. Yeah, my brother man. Connect through devices in each other's hand. I might not be the best rapper, but I might be the only thing left after. The stress after. Rhymes that make stress laughter. The pain comes faster than usual. Ideas man, some unusual. From a Vanessa's Airbnb to a stick up kids first, me and me. I can write it, you recite it, it's gonna take a little bit of me and me. You see the genie, but it's gonna be lost, it's gonna be me. They try to gas me up and have me stop with playing for playing me. Oh, I get it, I stop rhyming, you happy now. Niggas forgot they was nappy loud. Don't ask me how I let the start of mental slow. Turn around and ask the crowd. While we pass it out, until we pass it out, we fast as pow. Riddle the gas loud. Money over beef and has come. The cash cow, headshot, I'll be my last bow. Fast forward as fast as flash pouring a bowl of cereal, building a slip, I'm saving the world from torment. I'm seasoned like McCormick. My thoughts are finished, flows a lot dormant and perfect performance. You try to be God nauseous. I swear this time you got to be cautious. I like you off and leave always and I'll be scorching. With just enough time to bust the rhymes spin off to get poppy his portion. Come on, man.
Yeah. As I'm saying, just to also add in, before we finish off on the NFL tip, New York Giants, you got to respect the fact that we're going to have to do better this year with Jalen Hyatt being someone with good hands and someone that can, really move on the field out there and can get open and make big plays. And that's going to be an upgrade from us just having Rick James and Darius Slayton out there on the field as targets for Daniel Jones, because we really need to improve and to really do better than the 9-7 record that we had last year. They did upgrade into 18 games. Remember, the NFL does have 18 weeks now instead of 17. So that's an extra game to be able to play. Let's get into this. Also, shout out to Dexter Lawrence and that 4-year, $90 million deal, because we're going to be something special this year. Believe in the New York Giants. Now, NBA basketball is here. We're going to talk a little quick about the NBA playoffs. The NBA playoffs has been rounding itself out with surprises and some other stunning action going on. Started out first round, blah, blah, blah. They came into 16 teams, 8 on the East, 8 on the West. Some of these dudes, like Atlanta, they were believing in themselves, but they didn't have the manpower to get past Boston. So Boston obviously excelled the second round. Milwaukee were the number 1 team in the league. They was highly expected to go far and win the whole thing this year. They was one of the top 4. However, Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy, showed up and things became different. They were hit with a surprise. Okay, so then they moved on. The New York Knicks, they were battling Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So the New York Knicks did what only a few thought that they can do. They took out the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 games, 4-1. Now, Philadelphia is playing Boston. And Joel Embiid, the man was just inducted or just awarded the NBA's MVP award. The same night he was donned the MVP of the league, them boys in Boston, they rained down on that parade real quick in heaven. They blew them out. They destroyed Philly in Boston in Game 2, 121-87. It's almost 40 points. The same night the man get the MVP award, and these guys were celebrating. I'm pretty sure y'all all saw the video. It went viral. But they didn't come out with the heart until Game 3. Game 3 took place last night. It still looked like it was going to be something for Philadelphia. But let's say Philly came out with more heart than they did in that blowout in Game 2. Now they're back home and they're saying, okay, we're going to change up this tempo. Everything was going their way up until about that 4th quarter. And you know what happens in that 4th quarter. That's going to be Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They're going to take over. So that's exactly what happened last night. And a win that should have been for Philly, or Philly could have gotten it, the shit spiraled out of control. And it went that way of Boston. So Boston's up right now 2-1. They won 114, 102. I think Boston's going to take that series. That's a no-brainer. I think I told y'all that last week when this series before it started. The Knicks and Miami Heat, we're tied 1-1. We have another game today. That's going to be 3:30, and it's free. It's on ABC. So you can go tell all your friends, wherever projects, free. Matter of fact, I can't put you onto a free streaming service. You have to find that on your own. But 3:30 is the game, and you shouldn't have a problem catching that. A lot of ways to watch. New York Knicks today at 3:30. Get it on with Miami. We need that win. I think today you can look for Rick Brunson's son to get busy. Rick Brunson, which is now the assistant coach for the New York Knicks. But we got his son, Jalen Brunson, in. How does that work, right? I mean, he's not the first person to be able to coach a team or to be a part of the coaching staff and have a child there. Doc Rivers did it too. But Doc Rivers now is trying to get that win at home tomorrow to tie it up against Boston. Now, on the Western Conference, Kevin Durant has not been having an easy time with the Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets, they number one in the West. They did not disappoint. Nikola Jokic, people thought he was going to be a 3-time MVP this year. He did not get it for the 3rd time as they awarded it to Joel Embiid. Mostly, I think, probably because people would have had a problem with the fact that this man having it 3 times in a row and never won a championship. This year, they're playing like they want to win a championship. You have Jamal Murray, who's really doing his thing and getting busy and contributing more than ever. That young man has stepped up. Very great point guard right now. Chris Paul, with him getting hurt already, you see throughout the years, it wasn't the biggest difference with him just being there on the floor. Of course, he can control tempo, and he is that veteran all-star as a point guard. But Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and Kevin Durant has to figure this thing out. If not, it's going to be over, which I believe it's about over already. I see them maybe getting one more game and Denver closing it out in 6. Last but not least, the battle with the Kings right here. California Kings, I guess you could say. LeBron James, LA Lakers, Stephen Curry, Golden State Warriors. They tie right now 1-1. I'm believing in the Lakers. If I didn't tell you again, over and over. They're going back to LA, back to Big Hollywood, Showtime. LeBron James and these boys, they having an awesome run right now. Once they got in that playoff tournament, in the play-in, I told you, they're going to pick up steam and believe in the King. It'd be great to see an LA and New York series, I'm telling you, LA and New York championship. Don't sleep. Out of this one, we're going to take the LA Lakers. Golden State, they'll probably take one more later on, but I'm going to say Lakers in 6. So, it's going to be a beautiful weekend. You can go out there, do some things, try to, take in some of the sun. They say sunlight helps a little bit. Sunlight helps you get out the crib, You can let sunlight in, but, it ain't going to be the same way. I'm going outside, seeing what's up. Times are changing right now anyway, so you want to go out there and see what's happening in your neighborhood. Don Boy 718, we're going to get ready to wrap it up. We got coming up next, Mr. L on Saturdays, look out for them. Should be a real good show, Other than that, they got to catch us next week. Another beautiful weekend. Wrapped up in the books, Don Boy 718 to the world. Roll up the trees. Liquor stores don't open. Yeah, I don't want y'all turning alcoholics drinking so early, but if you already had your morning brunch and your morning goodness, you can go in and get some things going on. little morning love too, you know, for the lovebirds. You know, that's always a good way to get the day started. I'm going to say peace, love, sports is life, and blessings.